Gonna sneak in here. Just gonna sneak in here real quick. Get that hair out of my face. Okay, yeah, I think we're looking chill. We're looking all right. Okay. All right, just gonna pull up these questions. Yeah, you guys left me a bunch of questions, so you know I'm gonna answer some today. Whoa. Oh, that's a big yawn. Okay. Ba ba do do do. Yeah, I think this is chill. I think we got a good setup. We got the mic here. We got recording going. We got that. All right, let's do it. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sam Downey here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram if you guys haven't already at SamDowney44. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here, youtube.com/SamDowney. I'm posting content here all the time. We got videos coming out like every 4 or 5 days. So, you know, if you're into like trans stuff, non-binary stuff, all that kind of stuff, LGBTQ plus stuff, check it out. Thanks so much for all the support, guys. I really do appreciate it. Like, honestly, I really do. I know I say this in like every video, but you know, I always like to just say I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten and all the everybody joining the community, because y'all are awesome and y'all are all valid, obviously, you know what I'm saying. I posted on my community page on my YouTube channel asking for a bunch of questions, or any questions you guys had for me based around really anything. So basically I'm just gonna answer a couple of questions, honestly, and yeah, like really about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got a bunch of good questions here, so hopefully you can learn something from this video by the end of it. I'd say we just get right into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just get right into it. What prompted you to get a job at a VS, Victoria's Secret, or Pink? Did you already have a friend who was working there to encourage you? Yeah, really good question. And no, I didn't know anybody that was working at Pink when I did apply. So basically what happened was I got laid off from my one job and I was out of work for a while. I originally applied to the location in London, Ontario when I was living in London, and I didn't get a call back, didn't get anything like that. I always did want to work at a basically like a bra shop, lingerie shop. I was always like very interested in working at a shop like that. I don't know, I always just found that culture and the science behind it really interesting. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I like bra science, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so basically I ended up moving to Toronto and living with my dad. I was just looking on Indeed one day and I saw that Victoria's Secret Pink was hiring, and I just put in my resume. My resume said on it that I was trans, non-binary, had my pronouns, all that kind of stuff. And literally, I honestly, maybe 20 minutes later, I got a call from one of the supervisors at the Victoria's Secret Pink store asking me if I was still interested in applying for the job. And I literally told her, I was like, I just applied 20 minutes ago. It was pretty funny, honestly. I literally got a call 20 minutes later. She scheduled me in for a phone interview, and honestly, we probably talked for I would say 10 minutes, and it wasn't even really questions. It was almost just a conversation about, companies being inclusive, why I wanted to work at a store like Victoria's Secret, and just how I wanted to just build more confidence and, build my mental health up and everything like that since coming out as trans. And, we had a really good conversation. Literally it was just flowed so well. It wasn't it wasn't like a job interview or anything like that. So yeah, after I would say 10-15 minutes of talking to to one of my supervisors, she was just yeah, come in for a training. Literally yeah, no, you're awesome, I'm obsessed with you, come in for a training. And yeah, then I just came in for the training, and in the end, obviously I did have some kind of I was very nervous and anxious about starting working, and working at Victoria's Secret Pink, because obviously I was in my head am I gonna fit in? Am I gonna be as good as the other girls at selling products and stuff like that? I'm really thankful that I started working there, because I really think that it really helped me get out of my comfort zone and really just be able to talk about anything and be able to communicate with people so well. Because it was just one of those jobs that was yeah, this is what you do. You go out and you sell products. You go and talk to every customer, have a conversation with them, connect with them, and then give them recommendations. And I was kind of just sitting there all right, sounds good. And I just went in for it, and it really worked out really well. I learned that I was very good at cashing people out and building connections at cash, and just adding on products, that kind of stuff. And yeah, just building connections in general. I would say I give a lot of lot of thanks for to Pink for, you know, really bringing me out of my comfort zone, because like, you know, when I first started there, I was still very shy. I was still very new to being trans and everything like that. Just started hormones at the time, and you know, now I'm just like so much more confident in my own skin, and like, yeah, it's just like normalized for me to talk about, you know, bras, panties, all that kind of stuff. Literally, it's just like, yeah, I'm just way more confident in general. And it's a big thing, like, you know, being trans, like obviously being non-binary, it can be really hard to really step out of your comfort zone, but like once you step out of your comfort zone, like you're there, you're just going up from there, right? So, you know, anybody that is thinking about like, oh, I'd really like to work at a place like, you know, Pink or like Victoria's Secret, or like just a bra shop in general, or a more directed towards women's clothing store, just do it. Honestly, like you just gotta like throw yourself out there. All right, let's move on to the next question here. What do we got? Did you watch any trans YouTubers, and were any of them helpful in your transition? Yeah, I did. I really like Cole and Ari. Also Samantha Lux, she's great. Sam Collins, really awesome. I don't know how to say it. It's like no offense, right? He's really awesome as well. Jamie Dodger has some great content, really great. He's awesome too because he has a PhD as well, so he's very knowledgeable in LGBT and like trans stuff as well. So I really like Jamie Dodger, but like even like smaller YouTubers, like I really like Kinda Skylar, if you guys ever heard of her. She's great. She kind of has like the same kind of vibe as me as well, so I really do like her as well. Trans YouTubers are awesome, and you know, I do like, you know, supporting other channels as well, like, because you know, you just gotta do, you know, we gotta get that recognition out there for non-binary people, trans people, and yeah, just the trans ideology in general, right? I'm a cross-dresser gay, and I would like to be more feminine with HRT. But people say HRT kills your sex drive. With a low sex drive, I have no idea what to do. Is there any suggestion that you could give about HRT and sex drive dilemma? Yeah, so this is totally true. When you do go on HRT, your sex drive totally does go down. It will come back a bit, but you're not gonna have like the high sex drive that you had before when you're on when you just had testosterone mostly. That is something to consider as well. The main point that I would give for this is, you know, you're probably gonna have to find other things that turn you on and stuff. So for example, like, you know, using toys, figuring out other kind of things that do turn you on, that's not just, you know, basically like penetration, right? Obviously, like, you know, myself, I can still get a decent erection, but it does take me a lot longer to like get in the mood. So yeah, just like really like, if you are interested in HRT and the sex drive thing is a really big thing for you, I would say just like, you know, you're gonna have to experiment with things that you like and things that you don't like, because, you know, the way your body functions sexually will be totally different when you are on HRT. But yeah, overall, like, you know, sex drive does die for a bit when you first go on HRT. It does come back though later on, but yeah, totally, you're gonna have to like experiment with like new things that you'll find that you like and stuff that you dislike and that kind of stuff. How long does it take to grow your hair that long? Also, you're so cute, I'm jealous. Nice. So I've been growing my hair out probably for about 2.5 years now. Had a couple of trims and everything just to like trim the dead split ends and that kind of stuff, but about 2.5 years, I would say. My hair started growing a bit faster as well when I went on HRT. So, you know, HRT did kind of speed up the growth process, but I would say about 2.5 years really for myself. But obviously some people grow hair a lot faster or grow hair a lot slower. So it really depends on your body and how your genetics work and everything like that. How long was the process for your first appointment to starting HRT? So I basically had to wait, I would say about 6 months to get my first appointment. And then once I got my first appointment, I just had to go and get some blood work done. And then I was able to pick up my prescription for HRT. Overall, it was a pretty easy process. The only thing that kind of sucked was the waiting process. But overall, you know, it's not like I had to try and convince my doctor into anything like that. Like, it was kind of like when I said I was non-binary, I'm looking to transition, I'm looking to, you know, be on a dose that like a trans woman would be on, you know, there was no questions asked. It was like, yeah, sounds good. Like, and that's in Canada, obviously, so other countries might be different. But it took me about, yeah, I would say about a 6-month wait period to get that first appointment. And now I go in usually every 3 months, sometimes even on the phone, right? On the phone appointment last time. But yeah, but every 3 months I get blood work done and it's like checked and everything like that, just to make sure that everything's, you know, looking good and all that kind of stuff, right? Has your label shifted, or you see yourself the same before starting HRT? Really good question. And yeah, I actually feel like my label has shifted more to like a more like gender fluid side. I do actually enjoy dressing masculine sometimes. When I first came out as trans, non-binary, I was always dressing femme. femme, always wanted to look femme. I think it was just because, you know, I had a masculine body, so, you know, I just dressing femme to hide that. But once I went on HRT, I actually started being a lot more comfortable with just being masculine sometimes and having like so-called boy days as I call it. But yeah, like I totally would say that my gender identity has kind of shifted to more a gender fluid identity compared to just being non-binary in general. Obviously, I still do use the non-binary term to describe myself all the time. You know, that's like my main term, but I would say like for myself, I do consider myself somewhat gender fluid as well since going on HRT. And like, yeah, it's totally changed. Yeah, it's totally changed since going on HRT. What is your regimen for HRT? So just because of, you know, just like safety concerns and everybody's got a different body type, everybody's like, you know, different size and with that, I don't disclose my actual doses because, you know, you could obviously be a different size than me or something like that, and you might need a different dose, or you could actually run into like health concerns if you're on the wrong dose. I will tell you that I am on like a regular trans women dose. I'm not on like, you know, micro dosing or anything like that. Like I know a lot of non-binary people, they do the micro dosing journey, and that's, I believe, like that wasn't for me. I wanted more feminizing effects, so I am on a full dose that like a trans woman would be on, and also testosterone blockers as well, because I know some non-binary people, they only go on estrogen and not testosterone blockers, but I am on T blockers as well. What's the meaning of life? Oh my god. I don't know if it was just like a funny question, but in the end though, like it is pretty, like, I don't know, like we can talk about it, like you know, the meaning of life, like totally just being confident in yourself, really, you know, living your true self. Like that's really the main thing in life that you need to do. Like, you know, don't hold back. Like, you know, you only get one life to live, and life is short. Like it is short in general, so, you know, don't hold back because you think other people are going to be upset by your decisions or not going to agree with you on your decisions. Don't hold back, because in the end, your mental health and your life in general is the most important thing to yourself, right? Not what other people's opinions are or anything like that, right? Yeah, you thought it was a joke question and then I answered it. Should I move to Canada or America? Okay, yeah, good question. We can talk about it a bit, you know what I'm saying? So trans-wise, I would say probably in Canada, you'd be a lot more supported overall. Like I know in the United States, like they got the new law in Texas that's basically considering anybody who supports their trans kid is considered a child abuser, which is insane to me. Like I'm like, okay, like, all right, guys, let's just like literally focus on little laws that affect a tiny group compared to actually the problems that are in the States. But okay. And then also in like Florida, the new like LGBT law where it's like if, you know, if a student comes out to a teacher in school about being LGBT, they have to like tell the parents within like 6 weeks, which is like ridiculous, even if it's like an unsafe situation. So that is pretty strange. So I'd say in Canada, you know, we do support LGBT a lot better than in the States, but you know, you still also got to look at like the whole like trucker convoy and stuff like that. And you know, with COVID and everything, I don't know why, but in Canada, like we've had a lot more of like our very right-wing conservative people come out of their shell and like now will express their opinions on things, and that's only just recently since COVID, right? So yeah, it's kind of a hard question to answer, but like I would say trans wise or LGBT wise, probably Canada would be a lot more safer in general, but you know, we still got our problems in Canada too, right? Okay, cool. So I was gonna ask you how you heal from transphobia, or a better question is, has being out as trans given you more capacity to love yourself and have empathy for others? Yeah, I'll answer both these questions. So we'll start off with the how do you heal from transphobia? So what I'm getting from this question is, you know, if someone makes a transphobic remark to you, like how do you heal from that and not let that like, you know, ruin your whole day? Yeah, it's a really good question. You know, I've had a bunch of people, you know, especially in like downtown Toronto where, you know, you're walking down the street and, you know, a homeless person like asks for money or something, and then, you know, you say, sorry, I don't have anything, and then they try to use, you know, homophobic slurs or like, yeah, transphobic slurs on you just because they're mad that you didn't give them any money. And, you know, it can really like affect you mentally for sure. Like, you know, it does hurt. Like, it really does. I just kind of walk away from it. I don't like to confront anyone about that. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to fight people on that. Like, sadly, you know, people will have those opinions, and some people just don't care about like other people's happiness and stuff like that. So my main thing is just walk away from it. Like, it's really just not, it's not worth your time to try and convince someone, or like, you know, convince someone that they're being mean or being a jerk. Like, cause just like there are people out there that are jerks, and you know, sometimes you just gotta walk away and you gotta be the stronger person. And the other part of the question is, let's see, has being out as trans given you more capacity to love yourself and have empathy for others? Yes, totally true. Yeah, 100%. Like, I totally love myself more. I take care of myself a lot more. I eat a lot better as well. And when it comes to having empathy for others, yeah, I would say totally. I feel like I could connect more personally with people, and actually, like, you know, have deep conversations with people now, just because, you know, I'm fully out and I'm not afraid to express my emotions, right? Just gonna double check that it's still filming as I knock that over because my screen went to... We're still good. We're still good. But yeah, like I totally see that. Yeah, I can just have like a lot more stronger connections with people now since coming out as trans, just because I'm a lot more confident in myself and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable and, you know, express my feelings and emotions, right? How much boobage increase have you personally seen? We kind of have the same body type, so I figured maybe we are genetically similar. Good question. I have seen a decent amount of chest growth. Obviously, it's not like insane. It is to the point though that like if I was running around outside and I wasn't wearing like a sports bra or something, it would start to like my chest would start to be sore. Like it does, like, you know, I got some decent jiggle, right? Like I got some decent jiggle. But yeah, overall though, it's not like, you know, they're like huge or anything, but there is decent chest growth that is very visible. Also, I guess I'd say like my nipples are a lot bigger and a lot more like feminine looking, right? Like they have that more like feminine nipple look, right? But yeah, overall, like I would say I've gotten decent chest growth. I would say I'm pretty fortunate to have gotten a lot of chest growth. But if you're looking to actually like have like real, like fully, like very, like, you know, full breasts, you'd have to, like, you know, get breast implants or something like that. Like, but you never know. Hey, like I'm only, let's be real, I'm only like about 8 months into HRT, so you never know, like they could still keep on growing, right? So I'm keeping my hopes up. Did you come out to your family, and if so, how did it go? Yeah, great question. I think I've talked about it a bit. So the first people I came out to was obviously my ex. She was very supportive. You know, we worked things out. Like obviously we did break up, but we still are very close and very good friends. Then I did, when it came to family though, first people I came out to was my dad and my stepmom, who were very supportive from the start, even to the point where my dad actually decided to educate himself on a lot of trans stuff, which I really did appreciate. In the end, you know, a lot of people don't really know a lot about trans people besides what's in the media, unless you actually know a trans person. And like in my family, we don't have any other trans people, so it was really great that my dad did educate himself about that. And the next person I came out to was my mom. My mom did take a little bit of time to get around it. I think she just got very scared that I wouldn't be treated right as a trans person, but I think then she kind of realized that, you know, being trans is not a choice. People don't choose this lifestyle. Like, you know, and like you kind of got to look at it as like, why would someone choose to be trans? Why would someone choose to basically live, you know, a harder lifestyle, or like, and sometimes even like be more vulnerable to being in like dangerous situations, right? So yeah, like when I first came to my mom, like she was kind of a little bit hesitant about it, but yeah, like ended up coming around a couple of weeks later, I would say. But yeah, overall, you know, sometimes it does take people a little bit of time to come around, because I know it's a big thing, and a lot of people do jump to the conclusion that, oh, why are you choosing this lifestyle? Why are you choosing this? Why are you choosing this? And it's like, you just gotta understand, like, people don't choose to be trans. People don't choose to be non-binary. People don't choose to be LGBT. You were born like that, straight up. It's like, I'll fight anyone on that. Like, it's like, I've been having feelings about being trans since I was about 6 years old. Like, it's just like, you know, it's not something you just wake up one day and you're like, whoa, I'm trans, like, or like something that's to do with like, oh, I failed at life as a dude, so I'm gonna be a girl now. Like, no, like that's not how it works. But I know, like, you know, there is a lot of miseducation out there, so some people do have those opinions until they educate themselves. And when it comes to like other family, I didn't really officially come out to like any other family in general, but everybody else was very supportive overall. I have a lot of cousins that are very, you know, very woke, very left-wing, so they were always like 100% supportive, obviously. And also like all my aunts and uncles were very supportive as well. And really, like, now everybody's came around, even people that were kind of skeptical at first, because I think they've just realized that it's like, wow, Sam's a lot more happier, Sam's a lot more confident, like, you know. And I think they just kind of realized like, wow, actually being trans is a thing. It's not just like, you know, people who just randomly wake up one day and want to be girls. Like, it's like, no, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing about like building confidence, becoming your true self, right? That's a good question. Do you struggle to put on weight? So I wouldn't say I struggle to put on weight in general. Sometimes I do. Like, obviously, I don't know if you guys seen on my post on Instagram where I talk about my struggles with like eating disorders and like that. I have struggled in the past with, you know, being afraid of gaining weight, but, you know, struggling to put on weight in general, I don't really struggle that much, I would say. Like, I've actually gained I would say I probably gained about 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds since going on HRT, which I really needed because I was very skinny and very underweight. And now I'm at like more of a healthy weight. But yeah, like, you know, food has always been kind of a fear for me. Gaining weight's always been kind of a fear for me. And even though I have kind of recovered from, you know, my time where I did have an eating disorder like that, like, you know, still like those thoughts do come up all the time. And, you know, I just have to like, you know, convince myself out of it, right? Where it's like, no, like you need to be, you want to be healthy. You don't need to be skinny. Being skinny is not everything. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it is a struggle, but, you know, I am working on myself. I am like talking to people. I am expressing my feelings about it. And, you know, I feel like I've really made a lot of progress in the last year on overcoming my eating disorder. Yeah, and really that's about it, I would say, for all the questions. I believe that's everything. Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for all the questions. I really do appreciate it. You know, I want to do a bunch of Q&As always. So if you do have other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Totally down to answer any questions that anybody has, you know, about anything. Could be about my life in general, my work, HRT, anything like that. So, you know, feel free to ask any questions you want. I'm an open book. But yeah, really besides that, thanks so much for all the support, guys. I really do appreciate all the support that I've gotten on my channel. I really do, honestly, like really do appreciate it. And yeah, really besides that, make sure to follow me on Instagram if you guys haven't already at SamDowney44. Also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here, youtube.com/SamDowney. I'm posting content here all the time, so make sure to subscribe. Turn on those notifications, you know what I'm saying? Just click that bell. Ring it, ring that bell, if you know what I'm saying, ring, ring bell. But really besides that, yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.